guys who are learning English, if you watch as best you can, I know you don't understand my language, but if you watch what I'm doing, and then you watch that video that's in your language on YouTube, I think together you'll be able to work through the process, okay? So we start with what's called the starter shingle, and it hangs over the rake. This is the rake. You hang it over a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch over the starter at the fascia. So, and then we're gonna come up the roof. Helen is using her hammer. This is 6 inches. So for a spacer, you can put one right there. And over time, you'll just know what 6 inches is. You'll know what the 1/2 inch is without measuring. Now, Danny, if you'll hand us a starter right there, buddy, right behind you. Okay, the purpose of the starter, everybody, is it has this glue on the bottom, and that's going to stick the bottom and the outside edge of the shingle. It's going to stick when it gets hot. So now I'm going to hang over a 1/2 inch on the bottom. 1/2 inch overhang. And every 6 inches, so we're going to take our hammer and go like that. And put one there, 6 to 8 inches across the bottom. Right there. There. You can use 5 nails or 6. I like to use 6 on this bottom here. We went about every 6 inches. I'm going to put one right here. We went about every 6, so one more here. Now this is important. We have to leave no nails right here. From here back 12 inches, no nails. And the reason we put this here first is to move that shingle over, because if I put the full one, if I put this back here, when I put this down, the seam would line up and the water would leak in. So you put the first one here, it shifts everything over 6 inches. That gives us our starting point for our first shingle. So now we line this up to our starter. So one more time, starter going up the side, that gives us our 6 inch step back. And we come over here, no nails in this 12 inches right here. No nails there. Helen, if you want, you can start with a nail here. And then 12 inches over, everybody. Helen's gonna use her hammer, 6, hold it over, and right here. So we're gonna put one right there. Now, here. Here, you can go right on that, you could go right on that or right on there. One more 2 inches back. Now you guys, come over to the shingle cutter. You're gonna cut some shingles. So take a full shingle. Danny, take one. Each one of you guys take a full shingle. Cut our starter shingles so that we can build a lead. And in the industry, some people call it a book. So it's a series of shingles to run up the roof. So, and I have it marked. You take off 6, 11, and 17. Those are the 3 shingles to start the roof. 6, 11, and 17. Tight to the fence. Put your hand here tight. And push down hard with that. Okay? What we do is we take both of these shingles, we keep this one, we keep this one. Now you come over, you cut one. I have it marked 11 right there, okay? It has to be tight to the fence, right there, push down. Okay, so now listen, we keep this one. We keep this one, right? This one goes here. Now you're gonna cut one, Danny. You take that piece you cut. Keep all these cuts. This goes here. From here. Here, and the final one goes here. And then what that does is set you up to run all your shingles off of that. So we took off 6, 11, 17, and then we used all the parts to create that. So 3 shingles creates the 6 starters that we need. Okay? Now, remember the nail? The end, back 12 inches, so that you don't have a nail under here. Helen's gonna nail these on, do the roof, and then you're gonna do some roofing too. Okay? All right, hopefully it's making sense. So here we go. Ready, Helen? Yeah. Why don't you guys come over here, and you can hand her the shingles as they go, so that you'll know what we're doing. How high do we bring them? How high? Where do we put it? You see this shadow line? Right here. The bottom of the shingle goes along that shadow line. So it's flush to the outside edge. And a way to find that line, if you can't see it, is square at the top. You slide your hammer under it and stop there. You rest the shingle down on it. You see? And then I look for it here, and I rest it here. Hold it tight. Go ahead. And then I put my first nail here. Come over 12, 2 flips of the hammer until you get used to it. 1, 2, right there. Now, 6 to 8 inches. So look, right there, look. Boom, right there. Also, right here. See? 6. And then here, 2 inches from the end, 2 inches. There. Now tap that. You want to make sure they're in. Yep, tap. Okay, the next shingle, guys. Flush through here, and there. Put your hammer here, Helen. And drop down like you see. And then this right here, that there. Now I could start here or there. Let's go there. Now it's 12 from the end. 1, and then again. Inches from the end. 12. And then 6, right here. And then 6. And then 2 inches back. Next shingle. So flush to the edge, and you look for that line. You see that line? Put your hammer there, like that. Hold it, yep. And then you drop the shingle down like this, and you look for this line right here, right there, and your first nail goes right there. You're gonna wanna hold it like this because you've always done it that way, but when you do roofing, you hold them like this. And you go here, and tap that. Hit it. Now you see, I'm letting him hit that. I'm not afraid he's gonna hit my thumb because I'm holding it this way. I'm not gonna hit my finger. That's why you do that. If I do this, I'm gonna hit my hand. Right? You do this. Okay? Well, there you go. Now, get yourself set up with the hammer. Yep, you got it. 1, and then 1 more, and then right there. Okay? There you go. Now, so the angle's off a little bit. The next one, 6. And then 2 inches in. 2 inches, right there. It's upside down. Yep. Okay, so out to this edge, on here. And then put this here. And bring that, there we go. Okay? And right here. On the end, it's 1 inch back from the end. 1. Right. Yes. Now here, the full shingle is going to go stretch across. We're not concerned about that 12 inches anymore. Right there. Now that's a little high. You see the 2 lines? You want to be in here. You want to put one right there. You nail here. You miss this shingle. You see the line? Look, look. If I nail up high, if I nail here, I'll bring this across. I missed this shingle. You want to go through 2 shingles right here. 1 through and through that one. 2 right there. Okay, so this one goes here. So you're going to hit that there. Now you went high again. Right here. You went high again. So right here. And then you're going to nail here. Now, look, we're at the top of the roof, so we're not concerned about this anymore. We have to nail into the wood, so we want to nail right here. Right here? Yes. Helen, you could walk them through the rest of that with the starter. Show them how? Yeah. Run the rest? Yeah. Okay? So just work together and finish that off. So look, Helen's measuring the starter. Danny, measuring the starter. Just 21 3/4 plus a ½ inch. So it's going to be 22 1/4 is your cut. 22 1/4 for the starter. Danny, you want to cut one? 22 1/4. You're going to cut that right there, Danny. Give that to Helen. Helen's going to hang that over a ½ inch. And Danny's going to cut one more shingle here. This one's going up the side. I'm going to cut a 45-degree angle. So let's cut it like this. Put up your fingers. I don't have any bulking up. Some people like to cut this at an angle. Some people will hang it over and stop it here. There's a few different ways to do this, right? But you want this one to go over that one if you can, so the water, when it comes down, will run down. And now a ½ inch. Helen has it a ½ inch here. I'm going to hold it a ½ inch here. And we're going to nail that up. And you're going to nail it on the outside edge here. 2 inches back. And then up every 6 inches. What that does is put a glue at the end so the wind doesn't lift this up. Now, Helen, give us a measurement for your shingle. Danny, we'll cut this next shingle, okay? So Helen's measuring now from the end. Now this is an exact length we want. Check the height down there. The top corner should be lining up. The bottom should be lining up, and this should be lining up. If you hold the hammer, yes, yes. Nice. Here we go. Danny, you want to try nailing one on? Sure. All right. Now things went a little bluey on us here. We got a little messed up with this one. That one, but we're learning, so I'm just going to try to straighten it out as best we can.
Mr. Berg, how come you don't get just pieces that fit entirely across like a roof?
You do, but this is such a short run that we're piecing it in.
Okay.
Now, typically a roof is 30 feet long.
Yeah.
You're just going to do the 6 shingles, then run all the courses across, cut the end 6 shingles, go back, put the 6 courses up, and run those across, right?
Okay.
Before you do that, Dan, you're going to go like this. We're going to put a full one at 39, right? So here's so what we want to do here, 39, we're going to have a joint. So let's put a nail here. So let's put one here. Now we're going to put a full one. You want to find this line right here. Down there, or right here. Okay? Good? Okay. Danny, 1 inch back. 39. Full shingle's gonna end here, Danny. So we want to go back here. That's 12 inches. Notice, Danny, when you're doing this, you're ending up with the nail bending this way.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show you a little tip and the reason why. If you stop the nail tilted back this way, it's only going to keep coming back towards you, Danny. You have to be at least a 90, or if not, maybe just a little bit up the roof to get it started. And then just bring it in. Now you're going to go every 6 inches. And our next full one, like I said, it's going to drop right here, right? So you can nail every 6 inches till the end of that shingle. And then 6 inches.
Bird. Should I put it up here?
Yeah, anywhere there.
Hold it.
Last course, you're going to nail it right here, okay? Right inside these, okay? So go down there, line that up, and up to the end there, Danny. So cutting the other shingle, and set the height right here, okay? Yep, and then you put the nail in here. Right in there. So put it right in there. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right here. Yep. We have pre-cut caps here. They're 12 inches. So that means we're coming down 6 on each side of the roof, the center. So if we're here, somewhere around here, stick it straight up and let it go. There's our line for our cap. Guys, you take these, you give them a little roll, get them bending, fold them over, and find this line right here, and put a nail. Nice. Put another one there. Another shingle, a little roll, soften them up. It heats them up, warms them up, and bends nice. Bottom of that black sealant right there. Fold that over, and you're going to put those two. One there. Hit it hard, Danny, like you mean it. Danny, you can start nailing here, buddy. Yep. So the way these work, you just break them off. Okay? Now we don't have any fall protection because he's less than 6 feet in the air. And you can go 10 feet on a scaffolding without any fall protection. After that. So you need fall protection if you're 6 feet off the ground, and you have an exemption of 10 feet if you're on a scaffolding. Right here, okay, and then one more. One more cap, Danny. Final cap goes here. You see we have some exposure here. We have to finish this. So what we would do is take another cap, cut just the finish, put it this way, and we would put plastic cement, plastic asphalt cement, whatever, and we put that down, stick that down there, and then we would nail through here. Admire your work, gentlemen. Not bad for our first time ever. You take this tool. This goes under here. And you push. You snap them off. We're trying to save the metal. Look, look, look. You don't want to damage the metal down there, okay? So let's take that off. Helen, they got to admire their work for 30 seconds. Now we're stripping it off. Want me to start off? You can start off. Yeah, now you're going to take the nails out. Now to get the nails guide, you can use a hammer, or you can take this here. Come on, guys. A little easier, easy. Okay? Okay, all in a day's work, right, gentlemen? Roofs go on, roofs come off. Roofs come on, roofs go on. Money, money, money.